Hey, and welcome to another episode of Full Metal Random. This is going to be a fun one today because this came about because everyone really loves the plot summary questions people want to do matches. So we made a whole match about it. But competing in what I believe is his first Full Metal Random match is John Marr. John, how's it going?
It's going good, Malcolm. Long time since I've done a random. I think the last random I did was that Evil Dead one a long time ago. So it's
Oh
been
yeah, that's right. But also here we've got JD. JD, how's it going?
It's going. It's going. I think I saw you yesterday, maybe somewhere. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that would have been ranking.
Yeah, it would be completely random. Yeah.
But with that being said, how this match is going to go, there's going to be 35 questions in total. The first 30 questions is just game point as always. When we get to the last 5 questions, I'll get more into that when we get there. Because these plot summaries can be a lot of wordy at times, I'm going to be pretty loose with the repeats. But just don't ask me 5 repeats for the same question, and especially if it's a very long summary, because I'm going to get grumpy. But I know you love hearing my voice, but yeah. But that being said, there is no challenges just because this is alive. But if you do have an issue with a question, bring up afterwards and we can talk about it. And yeah, so how this is going to work is I'm going to give you the genre for what the summary is. You just got to tell me the movie. It's pretty simple as that. So the first one comes in the genre of horror. And this one, there's two different answers I will accept. In a post-apocalyptic world, a family is forced to live in silence while hiding from monsters with ultra-sensitive hearing. Five, four, three, two, one. Pins down. John.
I can't blow a horror question off the bat. A Quiet Place.
JD.
I'm thinking it's The Quiet Place, but it could also be The Quiet Place Part 2.
As I said, I can accept two different answers, and those two answers is A Quiet Place or A Quiet Place Part 2.
Okay.
um,
I missed that part. Sorry.
it's all good. The next question category is James Bond. James Bond sets out to stop a media mogul's plan to induce war between China and the UK in order to obtain exclusive global media coverage. Five, four, three, two, one. Pins down. JD.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
John.
That's what I have. Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies is correct. The next question comes in biopics. A biopic of the life and work of the legendary worst director of all time, concentrating on the best-known period of his life in the 1950s, and focusing on both his transvestism and his touching friendship with the once great but now aging and unemployed horror icon.
I might need you to repeat that once for me, Malcolm.
Yep, in the category of biopics, a biopic of the life and work of the legendary worst director of all time, concentrating on the best-known period of his life in the 1950s and focusing on both his transvestism and his touching friendship with the once great, now aging and unemployed horror icon.
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. I saw you writing, but I'm just going to repeat the whole thing because why not? John.
Ed Wood.
JD.
Ed Wood.
Ed Wood is correct. The next question comes in comedy. After they are forced to live next to a fraternity house, a couple with a newborn baby do whatever they can to take them down. 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John,
Neighbors.
JD.
Neighbors.
Neighbours is correct. Bad Neighbours has also been correct, because that's what it's known as over here for me. Next category comes in crime. A career bank robber bursts out of jail with the help of his buddy and kidnaps a US Marshal in the process. When the two cons head for Detroit to pull off their final big scam, the Marshal is put on their case, but she finds herself she is attracted to one of them and has second thoughts about bringing them in.
Yeah, can you repeat that?
Yep. A career bank robber bursts out of jail with the help of his buddy and kidnaps a US Marshal in the process. When the two cons head for Detroit to pull off their final big scam, the Marshal is put on their case, but she finds she is attracted to one of them and has second thoughts about bringing them in.
Okay.
Five, four, three, two, one. Pins down. JD.
So I was a kid when this came out, if this is correct. Out of Sight?
John. Out of sight. Your audio, your mic's gone for some reason, John. I saw your board, but I didn't hear you say it. But I know you got it right though.
We should be good now.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yep,
Yeah,
you're good.
I knocked my headphones out for a second, and it just reset everything. Yeah.
No, look, oh, good. As I said, I saw your board anyway, so I know you're not.
I was saying, JD said he was a kid. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was an adult when Out of Sight came out.
Right. The next question comes in rom-coms. Erin has just 6 more weeks as an intern at the New York Sentinel before she returns to San Francisco. That's fine with Garrett since he just got out of a relationship. But their relationship blossoms and it quickly becomes something they can't just drop in 6 weeks. They admit to wanting to be boyfriend-girlfriend just on opposite coasts, and soon they are forced to either break up or come up with a solution that has them living in the same city.
Repeat this again?
Yep. Erin has just 6 more weeks as an intern at the New York Sentinel before she returns to San Francisco. That's fine with Garrett since he just got out of a relationship. But their relationship blossoms and it quickly becomes something they can't just drop in 6 weeks. They admit to wanting to be boyfriend-girlfriend just on opposite coasts, and soon they are forced to either break up or come up with a solution that has them living in the same city. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. JD.
I didn't have it.
John.
I figured it's one or the other. I just don't know which one it is. Friends with Benefits?
It is Going the Distance.
Oh, Going the Distance. Oh, it wasn't even the other one.
I rom-coms are my weakness, so I was like, nope, I wasn't gonna get it.
Right, the next one comes in non-US movies. After a victorious battle, 2 generals are confronted by a spirit who predicts their futures. Rashizu will be promoted and will ultimately be leader of the realm. Miki will also be promoted and his son will eventually be the leader of the realm. Both immediately dismiss these utterances, but once they're promoted, they start to believe them. Rashizu is spurred on by his ambitious, scheming wife, Asaji. When a chance comes to kill the current leader, Rashizu seizes upon it. I probably mispronounced all those names. I apologize to people from this country. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John.
I'm just going to guess it's a random Kurosawa movie. So, Akiru?
JD.
I knew it was the one based on Hamlet. I couldn't pull it.
It is a Kurosawa movie. It is Throne of Blood.
Okay.
I
Which
forgot. I knew it was a
which is
Kurosawa movie based on Hamlet. I forgot which one that was.
That's all good. The next category comes in horror. A Kansas farm is attacked by a horde of hungry flesh-eating monsters from outer space with razor-sharp teeth and a witty attitude. The family who inhabit the farm must seek the help of a local drunk and his bounty-hunting pals before it's too late.
You almost got me, Malcolm.
That's right. When I initially did the synopsis and did in testing, I realised that I actually had the answer in the actual synopsis, which I put very quickly.
I got it. Yeah, I got to imagine that could happen.
3, 2, 1, pens down. JD.
I know it's wrong, but I put Brightburn.
John.
It's definitely Critters.
Critters is correct. The next category comes in drama. Two teenage girls meet in school during the 1950s. Instant best friends, they proceeded to spend every minute possible together, often writing about a fantasy land of their own invention. More and more estranged from their respective families, the two girls realize that they are extremely different from most other people, and agree to take any steps necessary to ensure that they are not separated. The two families are increasingly concerned about the girls' friendship in a strictly moralistic era. Five, 3, 2, 1, pins down. John.
I wasn't sure. I put Ghost World.
JD.
I was writing Bridge of Terabithia, but I knew I didn't write it all the way.
If I titled the category Prince Peter Jackson movies, you might have got it. It's Heavenly
Creatures. Yeah.
The next question comes in recent releases. A renowned stage actor and director learns to cope with his wife's unexpected passing when he receives an offer to direct a production of Uncle Vanya in Hiroshima. Five, 3, 2, 1, pins down. JD.
Drive My Car.
John.
That's probably right. I don't have it.
Drive My Car is correct.
I needed
But we're going back to horror. Two lovable hillbillies are headed to their fixer-upper vacation cabin to drink some beer, do some fishing, and have a good time. But when they run into a group of preppy college kids who assume from their looks that they must be inbred chainsaw-wielding killers, their vacation takes a bloody and hilarious turn for the worse. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, pins down. John.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
JD.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I did not know there would be that many horror questions in this.
I mean, I didn't plan it. I just put a whole random movie generation on and just. But moving on to comedy. Three company workers who hate their jobs decide to rebel against their greedy boss. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, pins down. JD.
Horrible Bosses.
John.
Sounds more like Office Space to me.
Office Space is correct. There's horrible bosses they each go against different bosses, not just the one. But that being said, in the category of drama, set in the beach town of Tybee Island, Georgia, where a divorced father gets a chance to spend the summer with his teenage daughter and his young son. His daughter would rather be in New York City than be with her father, who believes abandoned her 3 years earlier. The father, a concert pianist, tries to reconnect with his daughter through the love of music. Five, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John.
Is that On the Rocks?
JD.
I hope I had the 3 words right. The last song.
The last song is correct. The next category comes in 70s movies. In the near future, the ultimate sporting event is the road race. Contestants get score points for running down people as they speed across the country. The sport has crazed fans who sacrifice themselves to the drivers. A covert agency is trying to bring an end to the race and has infiltrated one of their followers into the race as a navigator. In the end of the race, the lives of the competitors, president, and the race itself are in peril. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John.
Death Race 2000.
JD.
I just had Death Race.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't give you that. That is Death Race 2000 because if I'd done something like action or something, then maybe. But I did specifically go 70s movies.
Yeah, the remake is Death Race.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I don't like being mean like that, but it's just one of those things. All right, next one comes in drama. 7 elderly Britons, for a variety of reasons, respond to an online ad and travel to Jaipur, India, where they find a run-down hotel for young, exuberant, and optimistic host. India affects each in different ways, enchanting Douglas and Evelyn while driving, Jean deeper into bitterness. Their host has dreams, but little cash or skill. He also has a girlfriend whom his mother dismisses. Stories cross and discoveries await each one.
I'm not sure which movie is which, but whatever, we'll figure it out.
4, 3.
Repeat the
2.
question.
Yep. 7 elderly Britons, for a variety of reasons, respond to an online ad and travel to Jaipur, India, where they find a run-down hotel with a young, exuberant, and optimistic host. India affects each in different ways, enchanting Douglas and Evelyn while driving Jean deeper into bitterness. Their host has dreams but little cash or skill. He also has a girlfriend whom his mother dismisses. Stories cross and discoveries await each one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. John.
The Exotic Marigold Hotel.
JD.
I also had the exotic Marigold Hotel. Marigold Hotel.
Unfortunately, the title is the best exotic marigold hotel.
I had best, and I removed it.
I thought I was missing something because there's a sequel called like The Second Best, right?
Second sequel is the second best.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just the second Marigold
It's
Hotel.
No, it's the second best exotic marigold hotel. I've got them on DVD. So yeah. But anyway.
I knew there was I was like, I had the best in there, and then I'm like, I don't know if best is in there. And I'm like,
No, it's all good. It's one of those ones with long titles. It's easy to really second guess yourself. Next question comes in classics. A doctor returns to a small town practice to find several of his patients suffering the paranoid delusion that their friends or relatives are imposters. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. JD.
This is where my age comes really, really bad. I put The Stranger. It was my best
John.
guess. I know it's wrong.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers is correct.
That's right.
The next question comes in rom-coms. 4 women have given up getting their men to do what they want until they find a how-to book written by Steve Harvey. They start using his advice about relationships, and their men start falling in line until the men discover what the women have been doing. Then the war is on. Five, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John.
Think Like a Man.
JD.
Yep, that's right. I didn't have it.
Think Like a Man is correct. The next question comes in action. 2 cops chase a red BMW. They discover the trunk is full of South African Krugerrands. Their boss assigns them to protect the federal witness, try and keep them out of trouble. When the witness reveals that he has been doing business with South Africans, the story evolves into a fast-moving chase. And 5, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. JD.
Best guess is The Rundown.
John.
Lethal Weapon 2.
Lethal Weapon 2 is correct.
That's the only movie I know where South Africans are the bad guys.
The next question comes in A24. A young African-American man grapples with his identity and sexuality while experiencing the everyday struggles of childhood, adolescence, and burgeoning adulthood.
I think we both got it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John.
Moonlight.
JD.
Moonlight.
Moonlight is correct. The next question comes in action. Samantha Kane lives in a small town with her daughter. 8 years ago, she emerged 2 months pregnant from a nearby river with no memory of her past or who she is. She has private investigators trying to figure out these questions. Then, after a serious accident, some old skills start to return. In addition, she starts to attract the attention of some dark and shady characters.
Repeat the question.
Yep. In action. Samantha Kane lives in a small town with her daughter. 8 years ago, she emerged 2 months pregnant from nearby river with no memory of her past or who she is. She has private investigators trying to figure out those questions. Then, after a serious accident, some old skills start to return. In addition, she starts to attract the attention of some dark and shady characters.
I know it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John.
This is that sweet spot where I was working in the movie theater. The Long Kiss Goodnight.
JD.
Didn't have it.
Long Kiss Goodnight is correct. The next category comes in crime thriller. 2 bored high school students decide to murder a random girl just for the challenge. They have planned everything ahead, and yet a stiff homicide detective follows them much tighter than they have expected. Five, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. JD.
I went with Funny Games.
John.
It's another Michael Pitt movie, Murder by Numbers.
Murder by Numbers is correct. Also starring Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, young Ryan Gosling.
The next category comes in parody movies. Lionel Train has invited the five greatest detectives to a dinner and murder. How can they resist? Included are a blind butler, a deaf-mute maid, screams, spinning rooms, secret passages, false identities, and more plot turns and twists than are decently allowed.
Let me hear that one more time.
Yet, in parody movies, Lionel Train has invited the five greatest detectives to a dinner and murder. How can they resist? Included are a blind butler, a deaf-mute maid, screams, spinning rooms, secret passages, false identities, and more plot turns and twists than are decently allowed.
This is wrong.
And 5, 3, 2, 1, pins down. JD,
I think this is wrong, but clue to movie.
John.
I don't know. The murder mystery.
Um, it is Brian Michael's favourite parody movie. It's not Clue, it is Murder by Death.
Murder by Death. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like clue to movie, but that was the only thing that came to mind.
Murder by Death's like an older movie, right? It's like a 70s movie, or
Yeah, 70s,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got Dame Maggie Smith in it. And Truman Capote, I believe, as well. Next one comes in comedy. Reno, Nevada lounge singer witnesses a mob murder and the cops stash her in a nunnery to protect her from the hitmen. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pins down. John,
Sister Act.
JD,
God. I put The Sister Act. I don't know if you're going to accept that or not, but
I don't think we can, unfortunately. This correct is correct. Next one comes in rom-coms. Edward is a rich, ruthless businessman who specializes in taking over companies and then selling them off piece by piece. He travels to LA for a business trip and decides to hire a prostitute. They take a liking to each other and he offers her money if she'll stay with him for an entire week while he makes the rich and famous scene. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pins down. JD,
didn't have anything.
John,
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman is correct. The next category comes in westerns. A mysterious gunfighter without a name rides across the desert landscape and arrives in the mining town beside Sea Lago to stay for the night. After gunning down three desperados who tried to kill him, the town hires the gunfighter to help defend the town from three murderous outlaws, who have been released from jail after they brutally ripped to death the town's local lawman, Marshal Jim Duncan, who's in his grave with an unmarked gravestone, set out to return to Largo to get their vengeance.
Can you repeat that?
Yet, in westerns, a mysterious gunfighter without a name rides across the desert landscape and arrives in the mining town beside Sea Largo to stay for the night. After gunning down three desperados who tried to kill him, the town hires the gunfighter to help defend the town from three murderous outlaws who have been released from jail after they killed the town's local lawman, Marshal Jim Duncan, who is in his grave with an unmarked gravestone, set out to return to Largo to get their vengeance.
Which one is it? All right.
That's what I said.
I just got to put one.
4, 3, 2, 1, pins down. JD,
They put a fistful of dollars.
John,
We said the same thing. I said a fistful of dollars.
the correct answer is High Plains Drifter.
Oh, it's another movie with him in it.
It's a completely different one.
It's alright. If it makes you feel better, in testing everyone else did that whole same thing. It's like, which one is it? In the next category comes in action. With the help of a magic ticket, a young movie fan is transported into the fictional world of his favorite action movie character.
Okay. I have actually seen this one.
And 5, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John,
It's in action, right? Because it's the last action hero.
JD.
Killer score, Last Action Hero.
Last action hero is correct. The next question comes in comedy. When it becomes clear that his solo album is a failure, a former boy band member does everything in his power to maintain his celebrity status.
God. I gotta make sure I have the right words.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John,
Pop star, never stop, never stopping.
JD.
Yep, he had it. I didn't have the right words.
Popstar never stop, never stopping is correct. The next question comes in action. The legendary US battleship, the USS Missouri, is going to be decommissioned, but the worst has happened. Terrorists have taken over the ship and are planning to sell the nuclear arsenal aboard. Now only one man stands in the way. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. JD.
Under Siege.
John.
Good thing that one man is Steven Seagal, Under Siege.
Under Siege is correct.
Man who can barely do mixed martial arts.
The next question comes in action. The true story of 3 inmates who attempt a daring escape from the infamous prison. Although no one had managed to escape before, bank robber Frank masterminded his elaborately detailed and, as far as anyone knows, untimely successful escape. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John.
Escape from Alcatraz?
JD.
I also had Escape from Alcatraz.
That is correct. And this is the last one before we get into the last 5 questions. In crime, 3 amateur bank robbers plan to hold up a bank. A nice simple robbery. Walk in, take money, and run. Unfortunately, the supposedly uncomplicated heist suddenly becomes a bizarre nightmare as everything that could go wrong does.
My answer matches that description. I just don't know if it's right.
4, 3, 2,
Repeat the question.
1. Yep, in crime, 3 amateur bank robbers plan to hold up a bank. A nice simple robbery. Walk in, take the money, and run. Unfortunately, the supposedly uncomplicated heist suddenly becomes a bizarre nightmare as everything that could go wrong does.
Uh,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John.
Dog Day Afternoon.
JD.
Yeah, that's probably right. I went with the usual suspects, but that's more than three, so.
Dog Day Afternoon is the correct answer. So, after 30 questions, John is in the lead on 22 points. JD has 12 points. But even though it's pretty clear who was probably going to win, but this last round could make it a lot closer. Because for these last 5 questions, if you get it right, you gain a point as always. But if you get it incorrect, you lose a point. Or if you give no answer, if you're blank point, you lose a point as well. The first question with these last 5 questions, in Best Picture winner, when the highly respected British statesman Sir Thomas More refuses to pressure the Pope into annulling the marriage of King Henry VIII and his Spanish-born wife, More's clashes with the monarch increase in intensity. A devout Catholic, More stands by his religious principles and moves to leave the royal court. Unfortunately, the king and his loyalists aren't appeased by this, and press forward with grave charges of treason, further testing More's resolve. Five, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. JD.
I went with the English Patient.
John.
A Man for All Seasons.
And for All Seasons is correct.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, this is a really underrated movie that people should watch.
It is very good.
The next plot summary comes in the category of war. The plot summary is, what is it good for? That is not the plot summary. I just want to make that. During the Iraq War, a sergeant is recently assigned. I will start again. During the Iraq War, a sergeant recently assigned to an army bomb squad is put at odds with his squad mates due to his maverick way of handling his work. I don't know which plot summary JPO is answering this for, but that is not one of the questions coming up.
I didn't hear that one.
Oh, I mean, I think you would have known if I did. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John.
The Hurt Locker.
JD.
The Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker is correct. The next question comes in classics. A Manhattan insurance clerk tries to rise in his company by letting his executives use his place for trysts, but complications and a romance of his own ensues. And 5, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. JD.
I went with the Insider.
John.
The Apartment.
The Apartment is correct.
I want to thank everybody in the Kingsman for talking about that movie every day.
The next question comes in horror. A friendly Saint Bernard contracts rabies and conducts a reign of terror on a small American town. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down. John.
I think only 3 people get killed. Cujo.
JD.
Cujo.
Cujo is correct. And the last question is classics. A group of reporters are trying to decipher the last word ever spoken by the millionaire newspaper tycoon. The film begins with Newsreel detailing his life for the masses, and from there, viewers are shown flashbacks from his life. As reporters investigate further, the viewers see a display of the fascinating man's rise to fame and how he eventually fell off the top of the world. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pins down. JD.
Citizen Kane.
John.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane is correct. But that is the end of the match for today. And your winner for score 27 points is John. JD, you managed to get 13. Unfortunately, you did have a few where you left off words, which would have helped you a little bit. But how do you feel about how you played?
It is what it is. I think, in some questions I missed some keywords, and then other times I think my age showed. I think I think more likely than not it was my age showing. Is what it is.
Yeah. But with that, John, you pulled out the win today. How do you feel?
I love plot synopses as a question style. So like I couldn't miss this when I saw it come up. So if we do it again, I'd be happy to come back again. It's a shame other people dropped out. Like I really would like to have a full house for this one. Hopefully next time we can get a full house in here. But it was a good time. Thanks Malcolm. If you wrote it, thank you. Thank you for hosting. Thank you for writing. JD, thanks for showing up. It was apparently hard to do. But I'll see everybody next time.
It's one of those ones like plot summaries, like depending on the way it's written, it can get really hard. Like there's a few other matches of plot summaries here, but what probably will end up happening down the end is we'll probably have a big championship style one where the winners of all the plot summary ones can face off.
Right.
But JD, I think you're down for a few other random matches. Is there anything else you want to throw out a challenge for that you may already be down for?
Well, I know an MCU one's already happening, but I would be down for that. Batman movies I would be down for. Other than that, no, I'd have to think about it. But those are the two off the top of my head.
Yeah, and John, I think you're down for a few other ones, but anything else you want to throw out a challenge for you may already be down for?
I'm definitely in for a bunch of random ones, but like any kind of like horror, like general horror, all the way down to like specific horror. Like I'm always down for that. So
Yeah.
let me know if I miss anything.
But with that being said, there's the end. Hopefully tomorrow we will finally have the Hawaii 5-0 match that has been sort of bumped down the line. It'll happen eventually. But yeah. Until next time, keep being random, I guess. I find it's the point to do that.